Welcome, everyone, to The People versus Clara Oswald. Presiding today over the room is Bailiff Don Kaiser.
Oyez! 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 This court is now in session. The Honorable Hugh Gitlin presiding. The case of The People versus Clara Oswald. The charges are illegal resurrection, illegal time travel in the stolen TARDIS, multiple counts of being a terrible assistant to Doctors 11 and 12, and the primary charge of overstaying her welcome as a companion to the doctor. Arguing for the prosecution today will be Diana Tan. Arguing for the defense will be T. Aaron Cisco. And now, all rise for His Honor, Hugh Gitlin.
You may be seated. The way this trial is going to work is the prosecution will have time, then the defense will have time, prosecution will have a rebuttal, defense will have a rebuttal, and then you will make the decision. Not only you here in the in the ballroom, but you people watching on YouTube will also have a chance to help in the deliberations. When we get to deliberate, type in your comments, and they will be forwarded up here, and your comments will be heard, and the other people will have a chance to go to the microphone and be part of the deliberations. Diana, are you ready?
Hello, and I am here today because Clara overstayed her welcome to the viewers, and I will have accounts of her selfishness towards that. In the accounts of stealing a TARDIS, she unlawfully stole one and was an accessory in a previous life to enable the doctor to steal his own TARDIS. So that's a pattern. Then there was the the illegal action of resurrecting. She was pulled out of her timeline, and who's not to say she did not have that planned. She was the impossible girl. We have no idea what really was going on in the future because we only saw what happened in the past of what she allowed us to see. And she stayed too long. There was multiple times she could have exited quietly. In Matt Smith's era and in Capaldi's era. And that's my opening statement.
Do you have evidence to present, Madam Prosecutor?
I'm missing notes. Oh no. I lost my notes.
Move for mistrial.
The defense should have his opening statement.
The defense want to make an opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor, I would love to, if it pleases the court. What is a companion? Is it merely the doctor's sidekick? Is it just some purty little thing he throws around the TARDIS? No. The companion must be like the doctor's second heart. They have to produce something of value. They have to contribute in some way to the adventures through time and relative dimensions and space. And if it doesn't fit, you must acquit Clara Oswald, a.k.a. Oswin, a.k.a. Osgood. Well, she didn't fit. She was too good to be just a companion. So yes, Your Honor, I think those charges against my client, it just works better when I use a Southern accent for this. Thank you. I think the charges against Clara are trumped up, and they're coming from a place of jealousy and envy, because Clara actually was the most intriguing, invigorating, compelling, engaging, gripping, and most importantly, realistic person to travel with the doctor who happened to be called a companion. Thank you, Your Honor.
Prosecution, present your evidence.
When we first met one of the Claras, she was in an asylum. That does not give her an excuse for being insane, even if she was a Dalek. But she was rescued in a way and cleared of all that. And when we found her in the past as a nanny, and she didn't go insane there either, but those were fine. But when we found her as Clara Oswald. Okay, anyway, when we met her finally in present time in Matt Smith's present, she had done, we didn't know what was her deal yet because we saw her in two different time things. Now, she, as being overstaying, had an arc. This arc was solved, and her end should have been then. But no, she stayed. She even contributed to the 50th anniversary, and the TARDIS never liked her, but she had the power of snapping her fingers, so she is a witch.
That was not one of the charges.
No, I'm not charging her as a witch.
Break that
I'm
part.
just giving an example that even though she was hated by the TARDIS,
The jury will not ignore that line, she is a witch.
again, I'm not charging her as a witch.
It's prejudicial.
Now, she moved. She did couple good things. She did get regenerations for Smith's character. However, when he regenerated, she still didn't go. She continued. She didn't even want to believe that Capaldi could be the doctor. And Smith knew it. So she should have just I don't believe you, and walk away, right? No. And she continues, she falls in love. Does she stay with that? No. She lets him get killed, in my opinion. But then she goes in and out of her reality of a Christmas. We don't know which timeline, but yet she decided to come back. Now, Jana Coleman at that time was going to leave. But after the Christmas special, she changed her mind. Again, I apologize for this. I can't get my notes. I've lost my thought.
Motion for mistrial, Your Honor.
You were just at
No.
coming to the
I
Christmas
know.
special.
4 pages of my notes, and now I can't remember anything. I'm a very, very bad prosecutor. No, I don't even know where they are.
Let's do the defense for a few minutes while you can write some rebuttal stuff while he gives his defense.
Oh, thank you, Your Honor. In defense of my client, I think that a lot of the charges against her were just misinterpreted. I think, one, Clara Oswald was not a pushover. If you consider how many times she would openly argue and disagree with the doctor, that could be seen as contentious. I see it, and I believe my client would also agree, as independent. She was not following the doctor's orders so much as having to work with him. And at times, when you work with people, you have disagreements, and she was not afraid to openly disagree with the doctor. Consider the episode, case number, Killed the Moon. where she had an egregious outburst, and justifiably so, because the doctor had left the fate of an entire species to Clara. That is unreasonable. It is stupendous, duplicitous, and other words that rhyme with us. Similarly to Dark Water, when she throws the TARDIS keys into the ocean of lava. Of course, that's an outburst. It might have been a little bit rash, but what would you do in that situation? I ask yourselves, what would you do in that situation? And to the comments my distinguished colleague on the end of the prosecution mentioned about overstayed, I think she was underplayed. Her strengths were far superior to that of one Mickey Smith, to one Adams Mitchell, even to one Captain Jack Harkness. She gave the doctor all she had got. And illegal resurrections, more like regal genuflections. Sorry, I workshop that a lot. It's hard to rhyme illegal resurrection. So just stick with me, it's gonna get there. She did what she needed to do in order to get done what needed doing. She sacrificed herself on numerous occasions, and not just for ratings, not for drama, because it needed to be done. If she hadn't done it, we would have fallen into catastrophe. And when looking at her predecessors, Clara had personality. She had growth. Even in her somewhat extended tenure, it was not the same Clara at the end as it was at the beginning, nor the middle. It was kind of like a really good sandwich from Subway. It starts here, it gets here, and then towards the end of that meal, well, we all know where that ends up, don't we, Judge?
Defense will refrain from trying to tempt me with Subways.
Apologies, Judge. Motion to strike. Yes. I also argue, in closing, Clara Oswald was real. She had real loss, real feelings. Now, it's true, she did have an extraordinary sort of paradox predestination attribute, but without Clara, as we all learn, telling the doctor which TARDIS to take, we wouldn't have anything. The entire Hooniverse owes a debt of gratitude to Clara Oswald. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Tom.
You say her personality? Well, her personality is way too perky. It did get a little bit better, but then it was still too perky. To the point of the annoyance. She was bossy, not just to the doctor, but to the Time Lords. I mean, you're right, she was not a pushover, but neither was Donna or Bill.
Would you like to call any witnesses?
Bruce?
Bruce and does Bruce have a character that you want him to be?
Danny Pink.
Danny Pink has been called to the stand. All right. Don, can you swear him in?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Absolutely.
You may proceed.
Danny, is it true that you were in a relationship with Clara?
Absolutely I was. She was hot.
Is it also true that you worked with her?
I did.
Okay. Did she treat you like you were in a relationship, or did she prefer to be with the doctor?
Oh, his first, I was second.
Did you know who the doctor was?
Yes, I did meet him on several occasions.
Did you feel like you could convince her to leave the doctor?
No. She liked him.
So you're saying you were in a relationship, but you were the other man, and there was no way that you were going to be able to make her choose.
That is absolutely correct.
Thank you.
You're a witness, Mr. Cisco?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Pink, is it?
Correct.
And you are a teacher of maths, plural, is that correct?
Yes.
And how did you die, Mr. Pink, if you don't mind telling the jury?
I got run over.
But you're the maths teacher, yes?
Yep.
And would you argue, or would you agree that math has to do with numbers?
Last time I checked.
Would you agree that numbers are sometimes written on things like speedometers?
That is true.
And also, numbers are sometimes present on things like street signs with speed limits. Is that also the case?
That would be true.
So tell me again how someone who is supposed to be so proficient in maths, plural, is familiar with numbers, gets themselves run over.
Because I wasn't doing the driving.
And you're a military man, is that correct?
I was, yes.
Yes. So you honor loyalty.
True.
Yet you just stated to my colleague, Ms. Tan, that you still pursued my client, Clara Oswald, knowing that she was already loyal to someone else.
I was loyal to her.
But if
She
she-
was not loyal to me.
Your Honor, permission to treat the witness as hostile?
He is already hostile. He is the prosecution's witness.
No further questions. Mr. Pink.
Thank you.
Re-examine? No? Okay. Do you have any other witnesses?
I do not.
Mr. Cisco, do you have
Yes.
any witnesses to call?
I have quite a few witnesses, Your Honor. Thank you.
I was waiting for this.
Yes. Ooh. Sometimes it's hard to find them. It's very bright in the courtroom. So you just excuse me for a moment, Your Honor. Oh, there's my first witness. Bit of a step. Your Honor, this is my first witness.
Your witness, state your name.
Elwidas?
Yes, it's Elwidas, Your Honor.
Okay.
And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you?
So help me.
Mr. Elwidas, are you a fan of the program Doctor Who?
I am.
Are you a fan of my client, Clara Oswald?
Somewhat, yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examine Ms. Tan. Would you like to cross-examine the witness? Stay down there. What? Would you like to cross-examine the witness? Okay. She's going to ask some questions.
So we've acknowledged that you enjoy Doctor Who. I do. Do you believe in Santa Claus? In the world of Doctor Who?
I do.
Okay. So, when Santa, or Saint Nick, whomever he was, had taken Clara in like just, different realities, was she put back in her correct reality at that time? Or was it still a dream?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Relevance is
It is,
that
it is relevant.
I believe she was returned to her reality.
all right. But wouldn't it have been better for us if she just stayed in her dream state?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained, sustained. That would lead to speculation in that he is not an expert at that.
No further questions.
Do you have any other witnesses,
I
Mr.
have-
Cisco?
Yes, Your Honor, I have plenty of witnesses. Oh, I love the look of fear in the witness gallery.
Oh,
It's like the smell of napalm in the AM. I tells you what. Yes, this is my authentic voice. I don't want to get too close to the microphones. Yeah. but we're just waiting here. Oh, look at that. They're a little bit late. They're sitting in the back. Hello.
Hello.
Would you mind stating your name for His Honor?
Who do you want as a witness? Do you want this lovely lady as the witness?
Sure. Your Honor, I'd like to call Lucky Lady as my witness.
Raise your hand, right hand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
You may proceed.
Lucky Lady, are you familiar with the BBC television program Doctor Who?
Yes.
Are you familiar with my client, Clara Oswald?
Yes.
Have you seen some of the televised adventures of my client, Clara Oswald?
All of them.
Have you enjoyed any of those televised adventures?
Yes.
Have you enjoyed my client's role in those adventures?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examination? No questions. Do you have any other witnesses?
I do have one more witness, Your Honor, if
Okay.
it so please the court. Would you mind stating your name?
Yeah, Brad Clement.
Raise your right hand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah, why not?
You may proceed.
Brad, are you familiar with the BBC long-running television show known as Gitlin?
We'll state the fact that he is knowledgeable at Doctor Who and Clara Oswald because he's in this panel and at this convention.
With respect, Your Honor, I was asking about the BBC television program Gitlin.
Oh! You may proceed then.
I have seen one or two episodes of Coupling.
Were you a fan of those episodes? Did you like the fact that there were brunette actors on that program? Do you have anything against brunette actors on television programs?
No, nothing against brunette actors.
You've been exact. What's the relevance, sir?
Your Honor, Clara Oswald is a brunette actor on a television program. I want to establish that my witness...
No, you may not do this line of questioning. I'm sorry. Do you have any other questions?
Your Honor, this is egregious,
Pertaining to the
outrageous, instantaneous, circumferences. That's a word. Are you a fan of Clara Oswald, sir?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
No on that one, but I do have a surprise witness who just arrived.
We have to wait. Do you have any more witnesses?
No further witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay, this is time for the rebuttal, so you may call your witness.
Thank you. Your Honor, today I would like to call upon the 11th Doctor themselves. Eleventh Doctor?
Raise your right hand, please.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Thank you. Now, as you're here, so we know you do enjoy Doctor Who. Did you decide to regenerate to get away from Clara?
Could you repeat the question?
So we know that you had had many seasons with Clara. Were you just to the point where you were so sick of her that you decided to just be like, okay, I'm just going to get myself killed to regenerate and get rid of that one? Remember, she's not Adric.
No, because I knew she'd still be there.
But you didn't know what your new personality, your person was going to be.
True, but she was still going to be there, so regenerating wasn't going to get rid of her.
But for your incarnation, were you tired of her?
Well, there was a bit of impossibility around her. You know, it got a little credulous at times.
Thank you.
Any other witnesses for?
Oh, Your Honor, don't we get a chance
No.
to
Oh,
cross?
I'm sorry. Cross-examination, sir. I forgot you.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah.
11th Doctor, you say. Is that correct? However, you are, in fact, the...
You have to stay down there. Unless. Oh,
So you identified yourself as the 11th Doctor. I just want to make sure that's clear. Is that correct?
Yes.
So 11th, as in one more than 10.
That is true.
However, there were in fact 11 doctors before you. Is that correct?
Yes, but we don't talk about him.
So you see my problem here is trying to understand how someone can be credible when they can't even count to 10. Perhaps Clara is not the issue here.
Sir. I am acknowledging that the doctor between 8 and 9, there was another doctor that shall not be numbered because of the time war, and I will acknowledge that, and the court will acknowledge that.
But Your Honor, I must file protest. If we don't acknowledge a doctor, that doesn't mean the doctor doesn't exist, and as such, the doctor's name should be 11 and not 11th. 11th would indicate the 11th, Your Honor. It's just math. It's not right, Mr. Pinks.
I have received from Gallifrey that the doctor between 8 and 9 that took place during the time war is not numbered and shall never be numbered.
Right,
That has come
withdrawn.
down from Gallifrey.
Withdrawn. 11, Dr. 11, do you like bow ties?
I do.
Are you able to tie a bow tie?
No. I use clip-ons.
Your Honor, this time, are you a Gallifreyan?
Yes,
Do you consider yourself to be a Time Lord?
of course.
What is your name? Your Honor, this witness doesn't even know their own name, yet they're being asked.
Your Honor, I am Your Honor. That name has been secret, and I know it, but I'm sworn to secrecy, and as is everyone else.
Your
So-
Honor, this is a kangaroo court, not the fun kind. It's the kind where I'm loosing. No further questions.
Do you have any more witnesses?
I do.
Oh, okay.
The 11th Doctor's wife, River Song.
Oh.
Are you River Song today?
Yes.
Raise your right hand, Ms. Song.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Miss Song, did you ever have the privilege of knowing Clara when you were alive?
Oh, I'm going to have to claim spoilers on that one, dear.
All right. Is it true that you put her to sleep in a meeting one time?
If that was a virtual version of me, does that count?
Yes.
All right, then yes.
So you were sick of her in 5 minutes of meeting her, that you made sure she would forget her meeting with you and decided that she should sleep for a while.
I really do think it was a bit more complicated than that.
You're my witness. Okay, fine. No further questions.
Cross-examination.
Professor Song, is it true that you are currently serving 12,000 consecutive life sentences in Storm Cage Prison?
I don't remember.
Uh,
Is that what the total came up to?
I have no idea where the timeline is right now, so I.
And is it also true that in addition to your relatively lengthy sentence, you were sentenced to such for killing, and I quote the judgment, a very good man?
A very good man. Yes.
Your Honor, I'd like to move to have this witness stricken from the record, stricken from the record, stricken, all of them, stroking.
Nope.
The whole nine.
She stays.
This is a convicted murderer of not a very bad man, but a very good man. And those are the best kinds of men.
I would like to. Oh, hold on. She was convicted for killing the 11th Doctor. So can you go over to the 11th Doctor?
Doctor,
The 11th doctor, did River-san kill you?
May I remind you, you are still under oath?
Well, I suppose in a way she did, yes.
But did she kill you?
I really am not allowed to discuss the finer details of that.
Your Honor, Professor Song is serving 12,000 life sentences. Someone
Honor, I am
died.
clearly speaking with the doctor. The 11th doctor is not dead.
Oh, those Gallifreyans, they die and come back all the time.
The whole conviction for death will be stricken from the record since she she went to jail and got out and married the doctor, and because she married the doctor after or before, I can't figure that out.
Wibbly
'Cause
wobbly.
it's timey-wimey and wibbly wobbly and all that other.
Your Honor, I plead with the court, throw myself at the mercy of the court's good judgment. Yes, marriage is in fact a prison. However, it is not a substitute for an actual prison.
Objection.
I've been practicing law or intergalactic, interstellar, interdimensional temporal law for quite some time now, Your Honor, and I've never once heard of someone being remanded to the custody of their spouse. Probably because that would be cruel and unusual
Objection.
punishment. Hey-yo.
Objection.
Any other witnesses?
No.
Do you have more witnesses?
No further witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay, let's go to our closing arguments. I think the prosecution closes first.
Usually.
So let's hear your closing argument.
All right, so you have heard from both of us today. I gave witnesses stating that they had regenerated while Clara was still around them, have been put to sleep, had put Clara asleep because they were tired of her. And that was within about 5 minutes of meeting her, just so you know. We have shown that she has a history of stealing TARDISes or enabling someone to, which makes her an accessory. She chose the doctor to stay with the doctor forever instead of, being with her person she fell in love with, Danny Pink. And she was a terrible doctor, companion. Where was I?
Terrible companion.
Terrible companion, yes. Not only was she not needed in the 50th anniversary, she was very annoying. She was perky, and she thought she knew better than in any of the incarnations that were available, and the Zygons. Did you notice the Zygons did not duplicate her? Because not even they wanted to touch that. The prosecution was.
Prosecution is arrested. Defense, your turn.
Thank you, Your Honor. It would please the court. I'll be the first to tell you, I'm not Clara Oswald's biggest fan. I know, shocking, right? I'm just here to defend her because I believe everyone deserves a fair shot. Now, sure, the Zygons didn't make a copy of Clara, but it's because she's inimitable. She is incomparable. She's Clara Oswald. I mean, personally, if you caught me outside this courthouse, I would rather see Bill Potts or River Song or Rose Tyler, Martha Jones, Donna Noble, Amy Pond, Pompadour, Yasmin Khan, Adam Mitchell. Yeah, I'd rather see Adam Mitchell. And Asher Pest, Madam Vastra, Captain Jack, maybe Wilford Mott's pretty cool. I like Jenny, Christina D'Souza, Liz Tin, Mickey Smith, Stormageddon, Nardole, Strax, Craig, Rory, Sarah Jane, Sally Sparrow, Harriet Jones, Petronella, Susan, Ian, Steve, Vicky, Barbara, Sarah, Katarina, Polly, Dodo, Liz, Joe, Victoria, Zoe, Harry, Leela, Adric, Tegan, Nisa, Mel, Chameleon, K9, Romana 1, Romana 2, Grace, Ace, Perry, Maybe not Jamie. But what I'm saying is, sure, there are other companions that are slightly more entertaining, more interesting, but that does not make her a bad companion. In fact, it makes her the best companion. Because the worst thing for a true Whovian is the loss of a truly great companion, one that we've connected with, that spoke to us. We saw ourselves in their shoes. They traveled with the doctor. They were our surrogates. And when they're gone, it hurts. It's a parasocial relationship. And Clara did us the greatest favor ever by overstaying her welcome so we never had to feel that loss. We couldn't miss her because she was never gone. That's right. Clara Oswald is a damn hero and should be treated as such. The defense rests, Your Honor.
Okay, since I did not hear any evidence about the illegal resurrection, I will drop that charge.
Woo-hoo!
Since it
Victory!
was not even presented in
If it don't
evidence.
fit, you must have quit.
But everything else stays.
If you see the moon, watch out for
Everything else stays.
Jadoon.
What's going to happen now?
Members,
The bailiff will explain what's going to happen.
members of the jury, we will now need your votes. Remember, those of you who are remote, put your votes in the Zoom chat so it can be counted. All in favor of conviction, please raise your hand. Not you, prosecutor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Keep them up for just a second. 12, I just want to make sure. I got 12.
On the chat, how many are on the chat, please? Our clerk will tell us the chat count.
Can you please repeat for me what we're voting for?
All
just a
in
moment?
favor of conviction. All in favor of convicting Clara Oswald of the 3 charges, since illegal resurrection has been dropped: illegal time travel in a stolen TARDIS, multiple counts of being a terrible assistant to Doctors 11 and 12, and primary charge of overstaying her welcome as a companion to the doctor. All in favor of convictions. Again, please have your hands up high so we can get you counted, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I count 15 here, and in the chat.
1 for sure, 1 that I cannot discern. It says, Missy Puppet votes that Clara is the puppy.
In my opinion, that's an acquittal.
So that was
As the
14.
judge-
I said 14.
As a judge, that's a
I
vote
said
for
14.
acquittal.
right? Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so 14 for conviction. Those who feel, what? 15. 15, that's right. 14 plus 1, 16. Math, you know? All right.
Math's getting a little funny here.
All right. All opposed to conviction, please raise your hand and indicate in the chat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to count them again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. And in the chat.
I do not currently have any votes in the chat.
Just that one that voted for the puppy.
So that would be 10.
Yes.
So the count, Your Honor, is 16 in favor of conviction and 10 opposed.
Oh my God, it's a tie, hung
His
jury.
Honor-
What are we gonna do?
His
Unfortunately, we're not-
Honor will now render the verdict.
We are not in a court of law. The preponderance of the evidence convicts her, so she is convicted of all 3 counts. Now, we are going to talk about why you as a jury decided that, because we have 18 minutes left. So if any of the jurors want to come to the microphone and give their reasoning, you may do it right now. So the microphone is yours if anyone wants it. Okay?
I thought of one reason, and nobody brought up the episode of Flatline. where she basically attempted to be the doctor. She called herself the doctor, and she basically tried to take over his entire image.
I mean, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
However, it's also, you know, a crime to assume somebody else's identity.
That's called identity theft.
It's more like
Mr.
identity
Defense
borrowing.
Attorney.
Identity borrowing.
2 points. First one being, how do you steal something that's already stolen? The doctor himself stole the TARDIS. So she's stealing something that he already stole, so if you're going to convict her, you need to convict the doctor.
It was,
No, I understand, but there's a fair point there.
we're talking about the restaurant TARDIS, right? In the stealing.
Correct. It was the restaurant. She didn't return it either. And
And
she,
plus, in Name of the Doctor, she pointed the doctor to steal the TARDIS he ended up in, too.
But that's not illegal. I mean, if I tell someone,
That is
hey,
aiding and abetting
Go.
of stealing a TARDIS.
he could have just said, you know, no.
she knew it
And
was
there's
going
a
to get to her
fundamental flaw in the idea of assuming that the Clara that's in the 21st century is the same person that was in the Victorian era and that was the dialect Clara. She was distributed throughout time and space. Those could be individuals. So you are making an argument against the 21st century Clara for that clarification as well. And there is the possibility of an infinite number of her out there still.
However, she could have returned the restaurant, and she decided to still go continue in space, with the doctor not even knowing she's there.
Gentlemen.
With all due respect to the 11th Doctor, he did finally get rid of her, and then for a whole 200 years, and as soon as she comes back, oh, I gotta regenerate.
Oh, we have a comment from the online.
Quote, mostly not guilty. However, both defense and prosecution lawyers should be exiled to E-space or be locked up.
Unfortunately, we will be back next year trying another case.
I would like to present to you that Clara robbed us of getting to Bill a lot sooner. Had she left earlier, we would have had a much longer case with Bill, who was wonderful and did not spend too much time with the doctor.
I disagree with you because Chaparral would have been the next companion. It was already set up with that list at the end of the Christmas episode.
Well, no one told Bill to go on her little interstellar date anyway. She could have stayed much longer. She decided to leave the doctor. Oh.
Any other comments? Oh, we got another online comment.
On behalf of Bill the companion, I should like to bring suit against Clara for overstaying her welcome and taking time away from Bill. Yes.
Objection, Your Honor, double jeopardy. She's already been convicted of overstaying her welcome.
That's right. And
But not in a civil suit.
oh, we're gonna do a civil suit now. Okay, I'm sorry.
It feels like this trial is much like watching an impeachment in the Senate. Is that evidence was presented on both sides, there was a careful calculation, and then ultimately people just voted on whether they liked her or not. As for this business that she overstayed her welcome, that's absolutely not true, because the first season was all about the mystery of the impossible girl. It would have gone on too long had it lasted more than a half a season, but it didn't. Season 2 is that she is invaluable in keeping the Capaldi doctor in check and planting both feet on the ground with a man so befuddled he can't tell that he looks older than she does. And she's amazing in like being able to just think on her feet, much like when a Cyberman comes into the room to kill her, and she pretends to be the doctor to buy time. Who do you want in your court to save you from almost certain death? Rose, the 18-year-old shop girl? The companions, Donna Noble, who, God bless her, is wonderful, but not really someone who can get you out of a pickle. Clara can get you out of a pickle. And her third season is about what happens when the companion and the doctor go to far, which is not really something we've seen before. In fact, you can make the argument she doesn't really ever get over Danny's death. The death of her boyfriend motivates her to invest in this life of adventuring, and she goes further and further and further and further and further until ultimately it kills her. And then the doctor brings, eventually she comes back, and that's fine. But there's distinct phases to her. So when we say she stayed too long, it's like, well, we would have been denied a character arc in Doctor Who that we haven't actually seen in its entire history. And I think we would have been worse for that.
Mr. Juror, can you come back to the...
Yeah, sorry.
You did not bring up, when you're talking about the great companions, you did not bring up Clara's immediate predecessors, the couple of Rory and Amy.
Sure.
Why not?
Again, I think Amy and Rory work wonderfully as a couple. Well, it depends which version you're talking about, first of all. Are we talking about Rory, after he's been a plastic centurion, or when he's completely forgotten that he was a plastic centurion? Or when he's got like 1,000, 2,000 years of extra memories, only all the times that he doesn't. So you have to take that into account. In fact, Rory's main attribute, as much as I like him, is to die a lot. Do you want to call for help on the guy who dies a lot? Meanwhile, there's Amy, who seems to solve every problem by pulling a gun on it, which, sometimes that's useful. Sometimes that isn't. But Clara's much more thoughtful than that. She admits to this. She thinks about strategy. Strategy. Ultimately, it's what get her killed, because her strategy in Face the Raven, the doctor goes, I can't get you out of this. But I find that an amazing character arc. I mean, we want characters who are flawed, but make bad decisions, but you can see where it came from. A character's bad if they just start making idiotic choices and you have no idea why they're making them. With her, you always know why you're making them. Did I answer the question? I have no idea.
Yes, you did.
Splendid. Splendid.
Any other commentators for why you voted to convict or acquit?
Although I believe Clara should be convicted, a point that could be made as a defense is that her companionship ended with Heaven Sent and Hell Bent, which I personally think are some of the best Capaldi episodes.
Thank you. Yeah. We went ahead, the 12th Doctor going nutsy. Oh,
I just
13, you may speak.
Yes. This is as Catherine, not as 13. I bet she's very fond of Clara in the past. But I would have a slight rebuttal to the argument of Clara being such a keen and clever companion, to the point that that she was in fact a little too perfect in some ways whenever it was convenient to the story. There were times where her characterization seemed inconsistent because she was Moffat's kind of stereotypical pretty clever, sassy girl, but then other times where she would seem to be overrun with emotion and illogical, and just generally her characterization seemed whatever seemed most convenient for the story or the given pickle at the time. I rest my case.
But is that convenient or is that multifaceted? Because everyone has good days and they have rough days. Right?
She's human.
Yes, she's the ordinary, extraordinary girl, the impossible girl who's quite possible, but not Kim possible. Oop, that's the wrong accent. I mean, she's the extraordinary girl. Hey, you get the gist.
My only comment would be, have you actually seen her alter ego's signature? That says it all right there. There's nothing.
Thank you.
I mean, some of the best people in the world don't have signatures. Have you ever seen Abraham Lincoln sign anything?
The 13 Osgood hybrid may speak.
Future Osgood, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Although I did vote to acquit, I felt that for posterity it would be best to point out what I saw as the fatal flaw in the defense argument. And that is that you should never, ever consider Kill the Moon.
Oh.
Any other comments? Thank you all for participating in this fun mock trial.
Mistrial.
Oyez, oyez, oyez. All rise. His Honor, Hugh Gitlin.
We'll see you next year.
Thank you all for coming.